Hello, hello, hello. Come on in and have a seat. I'm really glad you're here with me. If you're joining me, it is 4:20ish tea and tarot. I've got my tea. I've got my tarot, and I've got my Grim here with me too. Hi, Grim.
Hello.
It's
Excuse me.
yeah,
Hello.
hello, hello. It's Gussie and Grim from the Purple Door. It's great to have all of you here as you are gathering in. Hi, Michelle. Glad to have you here. I'm hoping you're feeling better. And hello to Mishmash. What you got? Mishmash. I like that. Lady Min. Hello, hello. Good to see you. And if you know anybody that might appreciate joining in this live stream, please share or let your friends know. We would appreciate it. Also, just to kind of get this out of the way before we start, Grim and I have a YouTube channel that hold on, I have to close this little window here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. We have a YouTube channel that we'd love to have you join us on. A lot of these 420-ish tarots end up on there, and a few of our rituals that we've had, and a few of our meditation videos that we've made, so feel free to join us. And also every night at 9 p.m. your time, we take a moment to pause for peace. Susan, I think Susan is out there somewhere. Susan is in charge of making that happen every night, and I love to see the interaction that we have from folks around the world, really, particularly here in the U.S., of course, but a lot of folks join us from other locations as well. 9 p.m. your time. Take a minute to just center yourself, calm yourself, and then pause for peace. Just basically, that which no longer serves you, you don't need to hold it in your energy field anymore. You can let things go. If they're not serving any good for who you are, for your emotional state, your financial state, your physical state, if it's not serving a positive purpose for you anymore, why hold on to something? Right? Of course, I make that sound so easy, because I'm so good at letting things go. That is not the truth. It is a lifelong lesson. I think, being alive and loving and living, I think it's all a matter of learning to love and let go. The very essence of our living involves loving and letting go, doesn't it? So I think we are constantly in a state of understanding of that. So just be clear. Where I was headed with that, I have no idea, but I think I'll take a sip of my tea and then say hello to some folks. Oh, good. Yes, Susan is here. Hi, Susan. Thank you for Pause for Peace every night, 9 p.m. your time. Hello, Maria. It was great to have you, and thank you for sharing those names on Samhain of your ancestors. Their names are in the book, and it was wonderful to experience that with you. I hope you enjoyed our Samhain perpetual cauldron ceremony and ritual that we did all day. And I apologize for those of you that were looking forward to 420 Tarot last Friday. I was just exhausted from Samhain the night before. It had been a really long week, and so when Friday rolled around, I actually had a few more readings that day, and then I just crashed. I pretty much crashed all weekend, so I've been kind of quiet out there. But I'm glad to have you here. Hello, Miss Christine 581, and Dharma, hello, hello. And if you're wherever you are coming from, hello, hello. I'm glad to have you here on this 420-ish tarot. It is November 4th, 2024. Mars and Pluto are in Cancer as of right now. Mars and Pluto have a lot to do with um, civil unrest, Mars being warlike. It can be a lot about energies kind of conflicting, and Pluto carries a lot of that same vibrational frequency. And of course, Cancer is all about emotions. So you can imagine that when you put that all together in a soupy little mix, and then you add it into the political climate going on around the United States right now, and really, let's be honest, it's not just the United States, it's really worldwide. I mean, there's just, whether it's France or Israel or Ukraine or, Taiwan, there's just all kinds of conflicts happening. Some of them subtle and some of them not so subtle. And so we can expect this week, to be quite tumultuous. Over the next several weeks, things can get pretty tumultuous. But as long as we kind of hold on until 2025 starts allowing us to heal again. It starts to heal some of this discordant energy that we have felt. And I know a lot of us say, well, it's the media pushing, their narrative and whatnot. Yes, I know that there is a huge amount of that going on. So I'm not saying that isn't part of the whole construct of what is happening out there with us right now. But I feel like once this energy lifts, of course, we also have another Mercury retrograde coming up, I believe, but that's a story for another day, and we don't let Mercury retrogrades affect us like we used to, do we? Now we look at those as opportunities to see where we need to shore things up. Instead of, dreading a Mercury retrograde period. Couldn't think of the word. Instead of dreading it like lots of folks used to do in the 80s and 90s and even in the early 2000s. But now we understand it's just a matter of, yes, things are going to break. Things are going to go a little haywire. And why does it say restart?
Oh.
I don't know how to not. Do I just do that? Okay, I guess I just do that. I'll figure it out.
I'm playing.
I guess you are. Because I don't know what you're doing. Hello, Victoria Williams. It's great to see you here. Hello, Megan. Good to see you. And who else do I have? Christina. Hello, Whimsy. Hello, Whimsy. And Julie and J.L. Myers and Jera. Hello. I know I've missed a few names in here. I apologize if I have. Oh, Michelle! Hey, good to see you. I hope you're still here. Hello, Anthony. Nice to have you. Interesting to see all the different names and the different people. I love having new folks join us. I've been seeing a lot out there about recently. Folks have been asking how to start a coven or how do you join a coven. And this isn't really what I was planning on talking about today, but here goes. Most legit covens, if they have integrity, I'll just put it that way, most are not open to the public kind of covens. Most of them are a little quieter. You pretty much have to know someone to be introduced or invited into the inner circle. And I know a lot of folks out there right now are interested in starting covens, or I've heard a lot of chatter out there about it. And it is more than just gathering a few friends, in one spot and lighting some candles and chanting and whatnot. There's a lot more to it. there are always there's always a set of rules that folks need to, I don't want to say adhere to, but covens tend to provide a set of guidelines. And if these guidelines meet your own energy frequency, if it vibes with you, if it resonates with you, then that's probably the group for you. But I've known quite a few people that want to join a coven or a community that I've been involved in, not Covened Up or Purple Door. I'm talking about before social media became a thing. But people would join without really feeling a connection to the people. To me, all the folks involved in the coven that Grimm and I run, all of those people have special meaning in my heart. They have special meaning in my life. They're not just someone that randomly, walked in off the street. So I know some of you have been asking about, how do you join Covened Up? How do you join Purple Door? Purple Door is simple. Purple Door is open to anyone as long as you are integral, interested in learning more about your Wiccan, witchy, or pagan pathway. Not to limit it to just those three things, but that kind of encompasses a lot.
Anything outside of the Abrahamic paradigm.
Anything outside of the Abrahamic paradigm. And actually, we actually have a number of folks that are Christian witches. And we are okay with that because,
that straddles the Abrahamic.
we all start somewhere. We all start somewhere. And that is definitely how I feel about my own spiritual path. I do not consider myself any less a witch because I started my life off in the Lutheran Church. I was raised Lutheran by my mother and father. I was raised in a town that was predominantly Lutheran in Ohio. Predominantly a bunch of German folks. And
Who liked Luther.
Who really liked Luther. And, that was my foundation for understanding that there's a higher energy above all of this. There is more to it. There's a connectedness that we all share. Early on, I kind of moved past that limiting belief because I do believe that, just like Grimm has said 1,000 times, there's more than one road to Detroit, and there's more than one way to the afterlife. There's more than one way to what's next. And the God that I choose to believe in does not condemn entire cultures of people because they don't ascribe to one person, right? I believe that we all have the ability to love God, the universe, however you want to phrase that for yourself. And we all are on our sovereign journey. We're all moving forward in our own way. And there's nothing that I can say, and there's nothing that I should say that should sway your decision about your next best step in any way. Your next best step needs to come from you. Your own decisions based on what you believe is right. Not based on what other people think or what other people are telling you is right. That's why I cannot wait until we are through with this election cycle. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't just end tomorrow. This is going to be in the news and part of our the daily drama for quite some time.
At least end the ad cycles.
But at least the ad cycles will be off YouTube if you're not with YouTube Premium. But all I'm saying is I know that a lot of us try to keep politics separate from our spiritual life, but really, some of the political issues that we're talking about are very, very deeply personal spiritual issues, right? So it's like we can't really negate it and say, forget about it. We don't need to consider this at all. I was one of those people that on, the Purple Door. I've run the Purple Door for years and years and years now, and it's always been a policy on there, no politics. We don't really have room for politics in the Purple Door. Mostly because it causes dissension. It causes such a division amongst people, and we don't want that to be the reason that we're not withstanding together. We want to make sure that
It's such a muggle reason not to withstand together.
it is a very muggle reason. But then again, when you think about some of the policies that people believe are being affected, basic rights and understanding on both sides, I know there's a lot of fear going on. And as witches, I was even told recently that if I don't vote a certain direction, that I'm not a real witch. I had another friend of mine tell me that yesterday, another friend that offers readings like I do. And she told me that had been said to her, and I thought, no way. So I brought this topic up with someone else recently, and I was told something very similar, that they don't understand if I'm not voting a certain direction, how I can't be a witch. Now, none of you know how I'm going to vote, because that's not something that I disclose or discuss with anybody, not even Grimm. That's my own personal choice, and it isn't because I, don't feel the need to
Join the masses.
it isn't because I feel above it or, different than everything. And I know there are people out there that think I'm doing the wrong thing by not telling you how I'm voting. Some people have scolded me for not sharing my voting, the way I'm leaning, because I don't know. I guess maybe if they knew which way I was voting, they wouldn't want to follow me anymore. I mean, I don't know. Is that what this has come down to?
When we were younger, growing up all through school, into our young adulthood, and I don't know quite when it switched, but we were raised with there's two things you don't discuss at work. That's your politics and your religion.
Yep, religion and politics.
And now that we do discuss politics and religion at work, oh boy. Suddenly, en masse, society discovered that we do have voices. And this is the first generation of people that have access to a means of really throwing their voices out there.
Right.
It's going to take a minute for that to settle into the norm, the consciousness norm, and that's when the voices will start to temper.
Mm-hmm. Personally, the way I look at it is either the right or the left, whoever wins. I not a lot of hope for the folks that are on the independent ticket or libertarian ticket or anything like that. So, as much as we kind of don't like the two-party system, that's what we're working with. To me, it doesn't really matter who wins. I feel like there's been such division, and I'm not pointing my finger at one politician over the next. I think both sides have been ridiculous in their slamming of the other side. I think both sides have been...
I feel like I'm running for high school.
Yeah, like I'm running for high school prom king or something. I mean, literally. It's just been rhetoric and slamming, and I just hope and pray that we all can see through that muck and know that deep down we are good people. All of us are good people. We are. I hope that you are not ending relationships based on politics. I hope that is not out there. But if it is happening to you, and I'm sorry if it is, I hope that the end result, be it 6 weeks down the road, 6 months, 6 years, whatever it might be, I hope that it turns into a positive outcome for you, because I just think a lot of the turmoil that's between all of us has to do with the way the media is portraying things. And I mean on both sides. On both sides. Anywho, let's pull a card, shall we? And I want to say hello to a few more folks here. Hello, Deborah. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, 420. And Constance, you're right. My choice, your choice. All of us that are of voting age have a choice, and we also have the right to keep that quiet. And I'm not keeping it quiet because I'm worried you're going to dislike me once I do. I just feel that it's a private conversation, just like...
It's an expression of your divine self, and your divine self, you reserve something private for yourself. Your witch's name, your source of power, who you are at your core, is never really fully divulged. If we are as enlightened and as vibrationally in tune with the universe as we want to be, politics does play a role in our spirituality and vice versa. And I think politics can be something that we can use as matters of discussions on how we can fix society, how we can mold a better future for the next generations.
I agree.
But if we try and separate our spirituality from our politics in such a way that we want to batter people into submission, all we're going to create is a society of submissives on either side.
Yeah.
And that's not sovereign.
No, that is not sovereign. No, that certainly is not sovereign. You know, I think more and more people really around the world are starting to wake up to the fact that there's been a lot of manipulation through our lifetimes, a lot of erroneous manipulation that, you know, we're only now just starting to begin to realize how deep that really goes. And you don't have to be a conspiracy theorist to begin to see the deeply troubled situation that we're in, regardless of who sits in the White House. I think that it is an issue always around. So I'm sorry if that offends anybody, if you're all gung-ho one way or the other and you don't understand how I just can't, you know, it's not that I don't know who I'm voting for. I'm just not sharing. It's, to me, as personal as...
You're selective.
You know, I've been out as a witch for a number of decades now, and I have shared with some of you. Some of you know what my gifts and abilities are, but the large majority of people that I know really don't, because it's not something that I discuss a lot. Even when I'm having a spiritual discussion with someone, that isn't something that I tend to bring up a lot, and it's just because it's personal to me. And I feel like if people really need to know, then they can hang around me more and find out. You know, that's just how it is. And I don't mean to be secretive because I'm trying to hide anything. I just don't feel the need to share tremendous amounts of information.
As much light as the moon reflects down upon us, she also reserves just as much darkness that she hides from us as well.
That's true. Ooh, I like that esoteric curve there, Grimmer.
Or however you would do that.
Right. Oh, and we are in some new moon energy here. We just had a new moon a few nights ago. Mornings ago, actually. But, you know, always a great time for fresh starts, right? Yes, indeed. All right, I'm going to pull a card for the group. I've been putting this off long enough. Oh, thank you, Carla, and it's great to see you here, by the way. I haven't seen your name out there for a minute. This is one of Angela's hats, by the way. I added the little black scarf on there, and I do just love it. Although the other day, I have to tell y'all what happened. This is the hat I've been wearing for most of October, if I've gone out. And Mist decided to dress as a witch this year.
Very classy witch.
Very classy looking witch. But she has her own hat, but she saw this and she really liked this, so she asked if she could wear my hat. And I said yes, and they wore my hat. But it came back a little stretched out because Miss decided that the basket they were collecting candy in wasn't quite big enough. So my hat came back full of all kinds of candy shoved in there, and so I wear it knowing that it brought a lot of smiles to those kids because they had a lot of candy to separate between the two of them. All right, let's pull a card for Carla. Says, it is tragic. Whoever gets in, I really hope they follow through with being a leader for all. I do too. I'm at the point right now, like, I really don't trust politicians, right? I want to have a government I can trust. I want to be in a country that has a government that is integral and for the people and not out for lining their own pockets or, whatever. But I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. Sad. I hope that whoever gets in does what they say they're going to do.
We need a unifier more now than ever before.
We sure do. We need a unifier. Okay, here's a card for the group today. Woohoo! Let's pick a card. This is from my Dark Mansion Tarot deck.
So mote it be, Lady Man.
What'd Lady Min say?
So mote it be.
Ah.
About needing a unifier.
We just got to get Grim up there. Will you unify us all, Grimmer?
Yeah, but you got to all think like I do.
Well, isn't it funny that we all have to think like you?
Yeah.
Vacuum. The card that popped out here is the Hierophant card. Do you know about the Hierophant?
That one's seldom comes.
The Hierophant is one of the major arcana, and it's a really powerful card. It is the ability for us to step forward into our magic and embrace it fully. Even though, there might be things that you wish you knew more about. Maybe you wish you had more wart cunning knowledge. Maybe you wish you knew more about astrology or understood it. Maybe you wish that you were better at channeling or psychic intuition, or maybe, I don't know what it is. Maybe you practice Reiki and you wish that you could, experience more fully like some of your classmates seem to experience. I'm not exactly sure where you are on your spiritual journey, but I know that all of us have mastery at some level. And the Hierophant is all about stepping into that mastery, stepping into that level of wisdom and knowledge, knowing that the keys are there. The keys are already there. You just need to be able to kind of get out of your own way and access them. What I mean by that when I say get out of your own way is stop telling yourself that it's not possible. Stop naysaying yourself when you do get a gut instinct and you know on the inside what it means. Don't look for outside support by asking people to get into the situation with you and give you their opinion, when your own opinion is the one that you should trust first. Trust your own opinion first.
And the Hierophant.
You hear that, Gussie?
And I think the Hierophant also steps into the flow in absolute trust, even if they don't know all the answers, don't know what's around the next bend. They trust that if they are making decisions that are geared towards their next best step, the next bend is nothing more than another pleasant surprise.
Well, that's true, and it's also about balance. The Hierophant doesn't necessarily take a step forward. They may take a step forward into the unknown, but they have enough balance with their own level of confidence and knowledge in their magic that they know that they're not stepping into some great abyss. They trust that the universe is not going to let them falter or fall. And that's where you are right now too. Trusting the universe that you're not going to falter or fall.
And there's no sense lamenting the abilities, the powers, the skills, the emotions that you feel you're lacking, because in the moment that you need them, you're as strong as you are. And that's all that counts. Trusting that that's all that counts opens up other avenues to receive greater flow of that magic. So don't lament. Oof, grim.
Don't lament, Grim.
Don't lament the skills that you don't have. Master the skills that you have now.
Right.
And it is in that mastery that you pick up new skills. You pick up new talents, you pick up new drives, new goals, new passions, and it's time for me to stop talking about it.
But that doesn't mean that if you have a desire to learn about astrology, that you shouldn't take a class or buy a book or figure things out for yourself.
But leave the intimidation of that behind.
But stop saying that you can't do it or you don't know it or you're no good at it. Because all you do when you do that is reinforce to the universe that you're no good at it, that you don't know how to do it. You're actually telling the universe how to treat that situation.
And it thickens the veil between you and your higher self.
It thickens the veil between you and accomplishing that goal, if that makes sense. So the more you can embrace the gifts that you have and be happy and proud of those,
That means
but
the goal's
don't
already accomplished.
but don't criticize yourself. And I get this a lot when I give readings. People will say, oh, I don't see clearly enough. I don't understand that enough. And, you know, maybe not at the moment, but I have to trust that the universe gives us just what we need at the right amount of time. Remember, we kept pulling that frog card out of the Samhain Oracle deck last week. Frog is all about transformation, but knowing that getting into the status of transformation, state of transformation, maybe that's what I mean. Getting into the transformative role can be a long process. It doesn't always happen like this. And so we're reminded again not to push things too hard once you get in the flow, because that's when you start pushing, that's when things tend to go awry. Let things fold up in front of you and follow your path.
Understand that your goals, your wants, the things that you want to achieve, those desires, they're already in existence. And every time we say, I can't, we're thickening that veil between us and that absolute that's already there.
Right.
We're not unwinding it, preventing it from happening.
We're making it
Not happen.
not happen because we're continually reinforcing that we're not good at it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get good at something when you continually tell yourself that you're not good at it. So there's the lesson for today. Take away from that as you will. It felt like it was something important for a couple of you, and I'm really glad that you're here to hear this. I love that Dharma just wrote #embrace your gifts. And I'm one of those people that believe that we all are capable of incredible things. We all have an assortment of gifts and abilities that we were innately born with. And it's just some of us are a little more in tune to some than others. And I don't think it is a matter of I'm sorry, my son just called. It's just like, oh, you know how it is. He's 30. I hardly get to talk to him.
Thank you for the roses.
We got roses?
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know what I was going to say there. I forgot. That phone call came through and it wiped my memory out. Because, oh, look, another card.
I can't read the name, but you might want to say thanks for the roses.
Thank you for the roses.
Anna Rare?
Anna Rare? Anna Rare? How do I say your name? I love that name. Anna Rare? Anna Rare? Anna Rare? I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. I don't mean to. It's Sunday. The plot thickens.
What card popped?
It's Sunday Foster! Oh! Hugs to you! You have to tell me how to pronounce that name, though. Yes, there was another card, so I was just getting ready to put my deck of cards back into the tarot bag, and as I picked the bag up, lo and behold, there sits another card. And so I take the opportunity, I don't miss this. I say, okay, Synchronicity, what do you have to share? This is the Ten of Cups card. Ten of Cups. Right? Little family there enjoying a picnic. So let's take a look at this card. First of all, this card is full of happiness. There's a lot of positivity going on. There is success. Yes, there might be some things that you're not quite aware of. Not everything is out in the open. And there are some people in your life that are kind of blissfully unaware, kind of going through life not really understanding or experiencing the world the way you are. Because I know, you see, your mind has been opened. You're on your spiritual path. So you're seeing things from a different perspective than, say, the masses are. But those that are within the masses, right, they're still kind of going through the motion of this is going to be just, perfect as soon as this election is over. Things are going to be right and kind again in the world. But really, this is an opportunity for us to make changes. This is an opportunity for us to continue to grow in the right direction. Yes, there is a lot of game playing when it comes to this kind of happiness. It's much like a chessboard where one person makes a move and another person makes a move, and this person moves and that person moves. And, sometimes those chess matches can get pretty hairy. But as long as we continue to stay focused on the positive as much as we can in our own life, and that means also sharing that positivity with the people that we love. And it doesn't mean you have to walk around, happy, 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 happy. It doesn't mean that you have to share it that way. It means that just having a calmness and a sense about you, knowing that you're sure of yourself and feeling confident in your own light, that emanates outward toward people. That emanates toward people, and they feel compelled to want to spend time with you. They feel that they want to seek out your advice. They want to be with you because you emanate positivity. Again, I'm not saying, bury all of your troubles and mask everything and just be fake happy. Not what I'm saying. But I'm saying keeping your mind tuned toward the honey in the pot, not how much honey you don't have.
It's that light that helps you fill the pot back up.
It's the light that helps you fill the pot back up. It's very true, Grimmer. Very true. All right, y'all. Well, it's been a wonderful Monday. I hope that you have, something I said here today or something Grim said. I hope that it touched home somehow. I hope that you are confident in your voting decision that you're making, whichever way you're voting. And I'm not being critical of either side, because I have friends and relatives that stand on both sides of the gate, and they're all lovely people who I would never, ever want to lose as friends because of something like that. And I encourage you to do the same. Just be kind to one another, be integral as possible, and, stay magical. See you tonight at 9 when you pause for peace, everyone. It's been great spending some time with you here today. I love you. I know Grim does too. And we hope to see you on Wednesday after the election at 4:20-ish Tea and Tarot. Stay magical.